Hello, my name is Emma Jerram and I am the mum of Noah. Noah is a child who is supported by Julia's House Children's Hospice, as are indeed we as a family. We are supported by them as well. And as it's Children's Hospice Week, I thought I would give you a snapshot into what life has been like for our family for the last 3.5 months and how Julia's House has supported our family magnificently. Noah has been in Southampton Children's Hospital in intensive care for the better part of 8 weeks. That's how he started his journey. He was taken there on the 22nd of March and he was placed in an induced coma, and his breathing was taken over for him so that he could have some relief in his brain from the seizure that he was suffering. But unfortunately, the intensive care doctors tried several times to take him off the breathing machine. Within a couple of days, he would go back into seizing and his body couldn't cope, so they would have to reintubate him. He was then transferred to Bristol Children's Hospital on the 18th of April, and he had an operation on his brain which lasted 8 hours, and it was an extremely tough day for my family. And obviously Noah, my husband and I kissed him goodbye in the anaesthetic room, and we cried a lot, and we wondered if we would see our son alive again, as it was a very, very dangerous operation. He came out of the operation. He remained in Bristol intensive care for 10 days. He had a crash call during that time where the crash team came and they had to resuscitate him, put him back and re-intubate him, put him back on the breathing machine. He was stabilised long enough while he was intubated to then be re-airlifted back to Southampton intensive care at Children's, where he remained for another 10 days. They took him off the breathing machine and he started to breathe for himself, which was nothing short of a miracle, really. He then endured 7 weeks of neuro rehab with physios and OT and our wonderful neuro nurses and doctors, and he's now home. But it's with a big but, and Noah is really worse for it in many ways because he's now lost the ability to walk. He's in a wheelchair and he is really not the child he was 5 years ago. The seizures have really taken a toll on his body and his brain and his ability to do things. So it's been a pretty tough 3 years all told, but all along the way we've had Julia's House supporting our family through the good times, the better times, and the really tough times, the times when we didn't think our child would make it through the night. And that has been several times in the last few months where we thought he would lose his fight. And they have been unwavering in their support and the support they have given our older children as well. They're there for them. If they need to talk or explain how they're feeling, then we know that that is something that they can do. It is a very, very tough life having a child who has been born to not make whole bones ahead of their parent. And the burden is high, it's sad and it's tough. And it's made all the more better by people and professionals who understand the world that you inhabit, which is a tough one. It's a lot of hospitals, it's a lot of, tough days actually. And I really don't know where we would be without this support. It's amazing the support that family and friends give, and it's wonderful and kind and lovely. But the staff are professionals and they understand the practical side of living with a child who is palliative. And I met another family actually, sadly, in Southampton. Happy for me because they're a wonderful family, sadly for them because they were facing something very similar to us, who are also a Julia's House family. And Dan and his lovely daughter Eliza were there for very similar reasons, a different operation, but the emotions behind it all is the same. It's the same difficulty that their family is facing, and the correlations were just startling really when we chatted. But the one thing we had in common, aside from many obvious similarities with our kids, is that we both said time and time again, where would we be without Julia's House? So with that in mind, from the bottom of my heart, I wanted to thank you from us, from the other families, from the many people that we meet along this amazing journey at times, who make our life that much better. And without your support, without your dedication, without the continuing awareness of what this charity does for families like ours, people like us would be lost. So thank you.